Welcome to Check It Out with Rich. Today we're going to review two new products from PopStep. If you don't know what PopStep is, in my opinion, they are the best step treads on the market. There are no springs holding it on. There's no adhesives. All they do is they wrap around the steps, your MORryde and Lippert steps that is, and they don't come off. They're easy to clean. They're very safe. I have the Gen 2s. In Generation 2, what he did was, one, he made them a little bit lighter, and two, he put some ridges here on the face of it, so that when you're going down, your foot doesn't slip on the wet, smooth rubber. Okay, they also make gap guard. What gap guard is, it goes in between the steps and is void, and some dogs, maybe cats too, but mostly dogs, don't like being able to see through the steps, so they're a little reluctant to come up to get into the camper. You put the gap guards on, takes away the problem. One, they can't see through, and two, safety wise, they're not afraid of coming up the steps because they have good grip on these PopSteps. Okay, I will put the review video for the PopSteps. Should be up here, I hope. I'm not too good at it, but it should be up here. Okay, one of their newest products also deals with safety on the steps, and that is LightLine. And what this is a glow-in-the-dark strip that you put across the front here, and then either sunlight or the lights from your camper will help illuminate them, and then when it's dark, they'll light up. You can see to get in your steps a lot more safely. Now, mind you, this won't last all night. By the time these go out, you should be in bed anyway. So we'll find out tonight exactly how long they last. Now it's later in the day, so we're not gonna have a lot of sun, but we'll see what we get out of it. And then tomorrow I'll look and see after a full day of sun. Okay, the other product they have out now is somewhat safety related, but I think it's more of an aesthetic thing. And that is Entry Glow. And what this is a customizable sticker that glows in the dark, that you can also see it in the daylight, and that goes on your kick plate here, and it adds a little bit with safety, but it also adds a little personal touch to your RV. Now you can order these on his website, which I will put a link in the description, and I also have a 10% discount code for you, and that is RICH10, RICH 10. Okay, I work with a lot of 3M tape, VHB, and I always use the primer on it, and I was wondering if you'd have to do the same thing here. I reached out to Mark, the president of PopStep, and asked him that question. And he shot me back an email, and I asked him if I could read this email and put it into this video. So we're going to do that now. In reference to the primer, he said, no, it is all self-contained and solid. It is aggressive tape, so it is made for factories and airlines. It is from the actual company that makes them for them. I've had it on my steps. Now he's talking about the Entry Glow, because that just came out within the last month. He's had it on his steps and it's rock solid, and if you don't get it lined up right, it is removable within 16 hours, which is good to know, before the adhesive cures. A warmer surface makes a difference in the initial tack. Mine has been on for 2 weeks, and tomorrow I was going to play with it and try to loosen it to see what happens. Here's the specs. He actually said, here's the boring specs. Okay, it's a high-performance acrylic pressure-sensitive adhesive designed for long-term use outdoor. Bonds well to powder-coat aluminum, painted metal, fiberglass, and other smooth, clean surfaces. Best installation temperature, 65 to 85. We're about 80 degrees right now, so we're pretty good. It can still work down to about 50, but adhesion builds more slowly. Clean the surface with alcohol. Avoid cleaners that leave wax or silicone residue. Apply with firm, even pressure across the entire graphic. Pressure is what activates the adhesive. Don't reposition it once contacting the surface. Peel a little back at a time if needed. So what he's meaning, if you're putting it on, you don't want to put the whole thing on and then try to reposition it. You're going to do a little bit at a time, and if you have to, you can peel it back off and reposition it just a little bit at a time. Okay, avoid washing the RV or exposing it to heavy rain for 24 hours. The adhesive reaches most of its bond within 24 hours and continues to strengthen over the next 48 to 72 hours. So that's about it. You got the gist of it. Like you said, you don't want to put the whole thing on and try to peel it off to reposition. If while you're putting it on, it gets off a little bit, you can pull it back a ½ inch and then reposition, and you should be all right. Okay, at some point later on today, we are supposed to get some rain. So before that happens, I will lift these up. But I'm hoping to get enough sunlight on them and it doesn't rain that we can see what they look like tonight. Okay, next step is we're going to bust this open, and they do include a alcohol pad in here to clean it off. So we're going to go ahead and do that and see how these things go on, see how hard it is. Okay, I put the first one on as a trial run just to see how it went. Wasn't that hard. As you can see, they do give you extra here. So you want to leave a little tang on both ends. And they do make this for the 24 and 20 inch variety for both steps. And now I've already cleaned the surface, so we're good there. And we're going to peel this backing off. And then it is nice that it's longer because that gives you a piece to hold on to. And instead of contaminating the adhesive that's already there. So we're just going to go lay that down about there. And then you don't want to be too high here. You don't want your feet catching it. So if you just try to center it up between here and here, you should be all right. And then we're just going to try to keep it as straight as possible. And then just apply moderate pressure to it. You don't want to go too solid now in case you have to pull it back a little bit like you said, like I'm doing right now. I started drooping down. I think the 3M primer would be a bad thing because usually when you use that, there's no peeling it back. Another thing you want to do, you want to try to get it to lay as natural as possible without stretching it. So with just a little bit of pressure, it's hard keeping it straight. I'm going up a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. And then take that to the end. And then next thing you want to do, once you're sure where you got it, you want to go ahead and apply some good pressure on it. And he said for, I think it was 30 to 60 seconds. So we'll just keep going back and forth here a few times. And then we're going to go ahead and cut the tang ends off on each side. Okay, and that's it. If you wanted to, you could probably clamp a straight edge to this, but if you're off a little bit, I don't think it matters that much. So, okay, we're going to go ahead, get the next two on, and then we'll come back for the entry glow. Okay, that wasn't too hard. I would, if you're going to prop your steps up, I would definitely put a stick or something under there to hold them up because you're going to be pushing on them and they're going to come down on you. And I think if I was to do it again, I would do this one down like this. I started out good, and then I started getting sweat in my eye, and I went off a little bit. So it's got a little smiley face here, but if you don't tell anybody, I won't either. Okay, so next we're gonna go ahead and put the entry glow on the kick plate here. And it's basically the same thing. We're going to clean it with some alcohol and then put it on relatively the same way. Okay, it's the same procedure as the other. You want to prep the area. I'm using denatured alcohol. And the one he sent me, I didn't get any alcohol prep pads for the entry glow. But denatured alcohol works good too. Okay, very important. Once you get done wiping that off, let it dry real good. Okay, so the installation process is basically the same way, just you're dealing with a bigger sticker. So, but what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to lay this straight edge down here, and that should give me a nice even edge to lay that, because you got these grooves here, so you don't want to start it down in these grooves and you won't be able to roll it out. Okay, like I said, the procedure is all the same. Same temperatures, same, you don't want to go too far with it and try to reposition. Just go a little bit if you have to, peel it back, you know, like ½ inch, an inch, and then reposition like that. Now this is the one that's worrying me, because if I ruin this, Becky is going to kill me. All right, so as you can see, this is just a hair under, probably 3/16 on each side, so you have a little bit of room to work with. Just you want to try to get it squared up as best you can. So first thing you want to do, you want to rip the backing off about, he said in the directions, about 2 to 3 inches. So we're going to try that. So we got about 3 inches there. I'm going to fold that back. And this is pretty much the critical step. So I would start this side and get where you want it. And then come back. Make sure it doesn't move on you. And I might have to reposition. So make sure we are where we want to be. Everything looks good. And we're just going to lightly seat that. You don't want to go too heavy, just in case. He does have removal options, but I think that's for a permanent removal, because it says if there's any adhesive left sticking to it, how to clean it off. So we are looking half decent here. So we're going to try to keep the bottom where we want it. And then just go a little bit at a time. You don't want to mess this up. Because you mess this up, you got Becky coming after you, and you don't want that. I was beginning to think maybe a tool for putting on window film would work good. Maybe you can go ahead and just follow it along. But we're doing half decent here. I'm just going very slow. Trying to stay down as close as I can to that straight edge. I don't see no bubbles or anything, so that's good, because usually on something this big, I end up with bubbles. And like I said, I'm not pushing very hard at all. I'm just following along just to make sure everything's touching. And what I might do here is I might actually cut this backing off right now, just so I don't have that much sticking out. Yeah, I actually think that's a good idea. That way you don't have that long tail coming off of there, that's all. And then keep going. I mean, it's looking good. I'm staying pretty close to that straight edge down there. I said, you just want to take your time. This is a little aggravating. I'm nervous. Okay, and it rose up just a little bit on me. Not much, but I'm not going to worry about that at all. Hey, just take the other side of your backing here. Get rid of the straight edge. I think it looks pretty good. Now it's the same thing. You want to add pressure to it for 30 to 60 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for a while, and we'll be back. Okay, I think it looks great. I'll tell you what though. I was sweating putty balls putting this one on. If I screwed that up, believe me, Becky would absolutely kill me. But other than that, it was fairly easy to do. This one was a little difficult because you're kneeling down. It might be easier if you lift it up and try to do it that way. Just biggest thing, take your time. Okay, now as a disclaimer, Mark from PopStep, he gave me all this. I didn't pay for any of this. But I am not lying when I do say that this is the best step tread in the market. Mark's a great guy, great company, enjoy his products, and he made me one more thing too. He made the blackout glow in the dark my YouTube channel logo, and actually thanks to Russell Albright Jr. for this design. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a wooden one up here too. But he has another company called Glowcraft Labs, and I'll also put that link in the description. And I think that's where you can find these. I don't think these are on PopStep. They might be, but I think the PopStep all just deals with the steps. He has a lot of other great items on Glowcraft. Okay, we're going to test it out tonight. Now, like I said, it's supposed to rain. I don't know how much more sun I'm going to get. I think it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon now, so there's still another 4 hours of sun. But if rain's starting to come in, I'm going to lift this up, put it away. Tomorrow's supposed to be nice and sunny, and then we'll definitely come back tomorrow night and see how they look. And I don't know how long I can stay up. I got to work Monday morning, but see how long they last. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, I can't wait till tonight, so we're going to get a quick video of what it looks like with it closed up and semi-dark. And I'll tell you what, wow. I mean, it's only been out in the sun for maybe an hour and a half, and that looks pretty good. Yeah, we'll see tonight. Okay, as you can see, it adds a very nice personal touch to your RV, and it complements our door logo we have on. And also you have the safety aspect of it. At night, it's going to light up, help you into the camper. Now, I stayed up last night for as long as I wanted to. I could have stayed up longer, but it lasted 3 hours, and I went to bed. And at 3 hours in, it was still just as bright as it was earlier. Now, I did take some photos, and I took a video. I'm not sure how the video came out, but whichever one it is, whether it's the photos or the videos, I'll put that in right now. Okay, I hope that video turned out. I'll see what I'm editing as to what I'm going to put in, either the pictures or the video. While I was doing it, I was thinking of the MORryde. I think it's a safety rail that folds up and out, and it sticks out further. I'm going to talk to Mark. I'm going to see him in a couple weeks, and I mentioned it, maybe make just like a 3-inch strip to put on both sides of it, so it'll glow in the dark also. I always wanted to get one. One, I think it's a little expensive for me, and two, I don't like how far it sticks out. But adding the a glow strip on it might help it out a lot. PopStep does have another product. He calls it the marquee, and it goes across here, and you can customize it and put your name or whatever you want. I'll see if I can find a picture and put that in of what this looks like. Okay, like I said, another great product from PopStep, and I will put all links and my discount code in the description. So once again, thanks for checking it out. We'll see you all next time. Bye.